There is a moment that comes quietly. It does not arrive with applause or alarms. It shows up on an ordinary morning when you wake up and realize the calendar feels different now. Not wrong, just different. The day is still yours. But something familiar is missing, even if you can't quite name it yet. For years, maybe decades, there was a rhythm underneath your life, a deposit that appeared like clockwork, a sense that no matter how the day went, something steady was happening in the background. And now the house is just as quiet as before. The coffee tastes the same. The light through the window hasn't changed. But inside, something has shifted. You might notice it when you check the mail, or when you pass a weekday morning and realize there's no reason to rush, or when you hesitate before buying something small, not because you can't afford it, but because your body pauses in a new way. It's strange how a piece of paper or a number on a screen can hold so much meaning. It was never just money. It was proof that you were needed somewhere, that your time had a clear exchange value, that you belonged to a system that expected you to show up. When that system steps back, it can leave a quiet echo. At first, many people feel relief. No alarm clock, no supervisor waiting, no pressure to perform when your energy feels different than it used to. That relief is real. It deserves to be honored. But relief often shares space with something harder to explain, a soft uneasiness, a question that drifts in when you least expect it. What am I supposed to feel now? You may find yourself thinking more about things you never questioned before. How long the groceries last, how often you go out, how much you help others, not in a panicked way, just with more awareness than before. Some people feel oddly invisible. The workplace that once knew their name no longer calls. The title that once followed them is gone. And even though friends and family still care, there's a sense that part of your identity didn't come with you into this new chapter. Others feel a different kind of tension, a quiet responsibility to not become a burden, to not ask for too much, to stay strong and self-sufficient for as long as possible. That thought can sit heavy in the chest, even when no one has ever said it out loud. You might notice your confidence changing, not disappearing, but shifting. You may second-guess decisions you once made easily, or feel unsettled by expenses that used to feel routine. It's not because you've become incapable. It's because the emotional anchor you relied on has moved. The paycheck did more than support your lifestyle. It supported your sense of safety. It whispered every few weeks that things were under control. Without it, the mind naturally looks for new signals of stability. There can also be moments of guilt. Guilt for resting. Guilt for enjoying a slower day. Guilt for spending time on yourself after years of being needed by others. It can feel uncomfortable to receive from life instead of constantly giving. And then there are the quiet comparisons. Someone else seems to be traveling more. Someone else seems completely relaxed. Someone else says they've never been happier. You might wonder why your experience feels more complicated. These thoughts don't mean something is wrong with you. They mean you're human, adjusting to a profound emotional transition. There's a point, often unnoticed, when the mind begins to understand something important. The paycheck didn't leave a hole because of the money alone. It left a space where structure used to live. Structure gives the nervous system a sense of order. When it changes, the emotions take time to catch up. This is not weakness, it is adjustment. Slowly, if you allow yourself to observe without judgment, clarity begins to appear. You start to see that many of the worries are not predictions. They are habits of thought formed over years of responsibility. You carried weight for a long time, providing, planning, showing up even when it was hard. The body remembers that role even after the role has changed. When the insight settles in, something softens. You may realize that uncertainty doesn't mean danger. It means you are learning a new rhythm. You begin to notice that safety now comes from different places, from knowing your limits, from choosing simplicity, from understanding what truly matters to you now, not what mattered when you were younger. There is a quiet confidence that can grow here, not the loud confidence of achievement, but the steady confidence of self-trust. You may find comfort in routines that have nothing to do with productivity, morning walks, familiar meals, conversations that don't need an ending. These become the new signals to your nervous system that life is stable. Emotionally, something else changes too. Time feels different, less urgent, more precious. This can bring both gratitude and tenderness. You might feel more protective of your energy, more selective with where you give it. This is not selfishness. It is wisdom that arrives with experience. There may be days when old worries return. That is normal. They are echoes, not warnings. Each time you meet them with patience instead of fear, they lose some of their power. Many people discover that peace is not found in certainty, but in flexibility, in knowing that adjustments are part of life, not signs of failure, in understanding that dignity is not tied to income, but to how you treat yourself. You are allowed to live at a gentler pace now. You are allowed to enjoy what you have built. You are allowed to rest without explaining yourself. The emotional landscape of retirement is not flat. It has curves and quiet valleys, but it also has moments of deep calm that were impossible before. Over time, the absence of a paycheck stops feeling like a loss. It starts to feel like space. Space to listen to yourself. Space to notice what brings you peace. You may come to realize that your value was never measured by deposits or deadlines. It was measured by the life you lived, the people you touched, and the resilience you showed. And on an ordinary morning, much like the one when this all began, you may wake up and notice something else. The calendar still feels different, but now it feels lighter too. You are still here, still capable, still worthy of security and calm. And as the day unfolds at its own pace, there is a quiet understanding that settles in. This chapter is not about proving anything. It is about living with steadiness and letting life meet you where you are.